So this is coming from Quartz, but it's really coming from Ed Zitron. And Ed Zitron released a report, and now everybody is reporting on the report that Ed Zitron reported on. So anyways, this is what I have access to. OpenAI's leaked financials reveal soaring losses as it prepares to go public. Audited documents show the company spent $34 billion last year against $13 billion in revenue, with losses mounting year over year. To which I would respond, yeah? I thought we all knew that. This appears to put rather specific numbers to the concept that I thought we all actually knew. So I find this is a little bit weird going through this current news cycle, because it does seem like this information is really being pumped up by a lot of these news organizations, but it honestly doesn't really make sense that it seems to be like it's that big a deal, simply because OpenAI and really Sam Altman have essentially been saying this has been their methodology since day one. I've talked about this before. I read the book about OpenAI. I really should remember what the name of the book is. Anyways, it was a very good book. And one of the things with the book is they talked about essentially how Sam Altman, how OpenAI thinks about artificial intelligence. And basically the way that they think about AI is that the more hardware you have and the more data you have, the more AI you have. That is literally what it comes down to. And if you look at a lot of the things that Sam Altman has said and that OpenAI has put out there, you really see that as their modus operandi. Whether it'll work, I don't think it will, but whether it'll work or whether it won't, right? That is their worldview. Essentially, as much hardware as possible, as much data as possible, and somehow you get AGI out the end of it. So when you look at it, they have been basically bringing in just a tremendous amount of investment. So theoretically, right now, they're worth like $850 billion. They want to IPO for $1 trillion. But when we talk about that, that's the valuation. What gets left out is how much they've actually brought in from investors. And they've brought in, I do believe, over $100 billion from investors, something like $150 billion. We'll talk about it a little bit later in this video. But basically, they've brought in this money basically to build the data centers and everything else. So it kind of makes sense that their losses right now would be huge. I can understand you disagreeing with that business strategy. I would too, but it does seem to go with the business strategy that they have. So I'm not actually sure what we're really talking about with this whole thing with OpenAI. So OpenAI lost $38.5 billion in 2025, according to audited financial documents obtained by blogger Ed Zitron. Oh lordy, I'm getting tired of this name. I did not know who the hell Ed Zitron was like 3 months ago, and now he is everywhere. And independently verified by the Financial Times as the company moves towards a public listing. The documents show revenue reached $13.07 billion in 2025, more than tripling from $3.7 billion in 2024. I do think this is interesting because so many times, again, when we hear about revenue, we now hear about ARR, annualized recurring revenue. So basically, you take how much money you made this month, you multiply that by 12, and that gets you to ARR. And I think their ARR is supposed to be around 40 billion or something right now. But if you actually take a look at what they actually earned, what they actually brought in, you can see in 2025, they actually brought in $13 billion, more than tripling from $3.7 billion in 2024. Total costs and expenses came to $34 billion, driven by $19.18 billion in research and development spending. I think that makes sense. And $5.73 billion in sales and marketing. So this is something that Ed Zitron actually brought up. I saw an interview of Ed Zitron talking about this post that he wrote and bringing out this information. And one of the things he brought up is this whole question of what are they spending on sales and marketing? And one of the things I'll bring up with this, if you've been following OpenAI, right? OpenAI and Anthropic, they've been doing a lot of partnership things and deals, trying to get other companies into their AI ecosystem. And so one of the things I wonder with this $5.73 billion, right? When you think about $5.73 billion in sales and marketing, you think about about ads on TV or banner ads and that type of deal. And you realize I'm not sure I've seen an OpenAI banner ad, that type of deal. So it might be confusing when they say $5.73 billion in sales and marketing. But something to think about is they've done like partnership agreements. So I do believe it was OpenAI, maybe it was just Anthropic. I do believe it was OpenAI where they got this agreement with these private equity firms. So private equity firms are companies that own companies, right? Anyways, so these private equity firms got in bed with these AI companies essentially and said, what we're going to do is we are going to force the companies that we own to buy your AI products. To be clear here, they didn't say, oh, wow, your AI product is so amazing, right? Anyway, they're going to force all the companies they own. The interesting thing with this, and this is where you get into the whole financial crap going on in the modern world, is the companies that they own will be forced to buy the AI products from OpenAI or Anthropic. But then OpenAI or Anthropic, the AI company, will pay a commission to the private equity companies for those sales that they force to happen. And so that's where you might start getting to these billions of dollars of sales and marketing, where weird, squirrely stuff, like that. Think about this like with Mozilla, right? Mozilla made lots and lots of money. Basically, their prime revenue source for years was simply having Google as the default search engine in the Mozilla web browser. So you don't normally think of that when you're thinking about marketing or advertising, but again, that's how it worked out. We have this with Apple too, right? Google was paying tens of billions of dollars a year to Apple to make Google the default search engine, right? So that truly is advertising, that truly is marketing. It's just in a way that you normally don't think about. It's not a TV ad, it's not a click-through ad, it's not a radio ad. It's just another way to get their products out there. And so that's what we might be seeing from OpenAI and other AI companies, is where their sales and marketing seems insane for the advertising that you see. You're just not actually seeing the advertising that they're doing. The operating loss for 2025 was $20.92 billion. The net loss widened to $38.5 billion after accounting for charges related to OpenAI's conversion from a nonprofit to a for-profit entity, which produced a $41.55 billion loss tied to changes in the fair value of convertible interest and warrant liability. And this is also where I talk about, in the modern world of technology business, why you might want to get your MBA or your Juris Doctor, simply so you can follow all of the jargon that is being thrown at you. And so what they're saying here with a lot of this loss, is basically things like equity that's being provided to employees. That type of deal has to be accounted for in these whole systems, and so that's one of the reasons they're saying some of this loss may have occurred too. In 2024, OpenAI posted a net loss attributable to the company of $5.09 billion on $3.7 billion in revenue, with total costs and expenses of $12.48 billion. 2025 documents also detail OpenAI's financial relationship with Microsoft. OpenAI paid Microsoft $10.59 billion for research and development expenses, $6 billion in cost of revenue charges, and additional amounts for sales, marketing, and administrative expenses, bringing total payments to Microsoft to $17.2 billion for the year. Microsoft, in turn, paid OpenAI $303 million in 2025. SoftBank paid OpenAI $867 million at the year end. OpenAI held over $50 billion in assets, with roughly half in cash. According to NextWeb, the $13 billion in 2025 revenue came in ahead of OpenAI's internal target of $10 billion. The company is currently valued at $852 billion following a $122 billion funding round closed earlier this year. And so that's the thing to be thinking about with these types of businesses. As I say, when you're running a business, when you're running an organization, all you care is that you have enough money to pay the bills. Whether that money comes in from revenue or whether that money comes from investment, cash is still green. And so that's one of the things to look at too is, so they brought in $122 billion in funds. So that's the actual amount of money that they've brought into the company. OpenAI basically has a stated mandate of more computer, more data, more AI. That's basically their concept. And so when you look at these numbers, I mean, they just make sense. It's like, yeah, I mean, this is providing more specific numbers yeah, I mean, I think we all pretty much figured this is what was going on. Investor communications reviewed by the outlet indicate OpenAI, this is funny, has pledged approximately $600 billion towards AI infrastructure spending between now and 2030. And do remember, 2030 ain't that far away, right? Again, as an old timer, like 2030, you think 2030. Man, that's like 3.5 years away. They have committed to spend $600 billion over the next 3.5 years. To be clear, also, bat crap insane. I think this is dumb, but we have also known this for a long time. So when you take a look at these numbers, yes, they are losing a lot of money. They have whatever, they have the revenue that they have. And yeah, I think that's when I take a look at it. This on its own is basically a nothing burger. It's like imagine you walk up and onto an interstate, and there is this massive set of car crashes, right? There's just this line of car crashes. One car went into another, and a semi truck went into a car, and an ambulance went up in flames. And then basically imagine walking up to a car that's over on the side and hasn't been damaged at all, and then noticing it has a little bit of a scrape. Like all these flames going on the interstate, people are screaming, mothers are crying. You know, oh, look at this car. Oh, look, somebody scraped up your car. And you're like, well, yes. Any other time I'd be angry. Right now I'm thankful I'm not in the middle of that inferno, right? So that's what I kind of think about when I look at this. Like, yeah, again, I'm not quite sure what people are expecting here. And it will be interesting when they go to IPO. And whether they can make these numbers make sense. This is one of the things I've talked about for a while, right? The CFO of OpenAI literally talked about it a few months ago that they were not ready to IPO. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, really wants to IPO. One of the big things the CFO said is, look, their paperwork and all that does not look good for an IPO, and so they're trying to clean that up. And so the interesting question will be is, as they clean that up, as they try to turn it into a narrative of something, will they be able to turn it into something that investors are going to be interested in? Does Sam Altman have a reality distortion field on the order of Elon Musk? I would argue he doesn't, but then again, SpaceX is now worth almost $3 trillion, so what the hell do I know as far as investments are concerned? It will be curious to see how that works out going forward. The other thing to be thinking about too, I talk about this with economic failure, right? The dominoes falling. So when you look at this, it may be very fun to look at this and figure that OpenAI is going to fail, right? There's a lot of AI plays out there. There are a lot of much better AI plays out there at this point in time. Why would people invest in OpenAI? Ha, their IPO is going to fail. Screw them. The big concern here, though, if they have $600 billion in commitments, right? And that's one of the things we talk about with accounting rules and that type of thing. Like when do people realize the sales? So if you're going to run a normal business, right? You're doing your accounting, whatever the option is in the thing. Realize a sale when you actually get the cash in hand. So basically when you set up your QuickBooks, right, you're going to have an option. One will be realize sale when the person agrees to purchase an item. The other is realize sale when somebody actually gives you the money for the item. Those can be two entirely different things. One of the concerns to be thinking about, we talk about the circular financing and everything else. Under the accounting rules, if they have $600 billion in agreements, how many of the people that they have agreements with have already booked those sales? And so those sales have gone to their paperwork and their filings and all that to make it seem like the company is maybe doing much better than they are. Like, look, we have an agreement from OpenAI for tens or hundreds of billions of dollars. So therefore, obviously, we're successful. If OpenAI's IPO fails and OpenAI fails, then I don't care what contracts you have, you can't squeeze dollars out of a dead AI company. Where is that going to fall out? So anyways, what do you think about this? What do you think about the financials for OpenAI being released? Are you like, yep? Literally, the only reason I'm talking about this today is apparently everybody else is very excited about this. I look at my news feed, everyone's like, OpenAI financials have been released. And then I read them, and I'm like, yep. Yep. I could have probably just guessed these numbers and been relatively close. There's nothing here that's that impressive or particularly interesting. What do you think about Ed Zitron? Where did Ed Zitron come from? 3 months ago, never heard of this guy. All of a sudden, he is everywhere. What are your thoughts about Ed Zitron? Put your comments down below. If you like these episodes, do remember they're on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Link is down there. If you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.